Domain 2, Lesson 8, Paper, Writing, and Calligraphy. Look at this image. Does it look like anything you recognize? This is the Chinese character for person. A character is a symbol or picture used in a system of writing to represent spoken words. Each character represents a different spoken word or group of words. Now look closely at these three characters. These are the characters for the numbers 1, 2, and 3. If you wanted to write 3 people, you would combine the symbol for the number 3 with the symbol for person, like this. Look easy? Let's try another one. Can anyone guess what these characters mean? Together they mean school. There are over 56,000 Chinese symbols or characters compared to the 26 symbols or letters of the English alphabet. Most Chinese use only 8,000 in their daily lives. The writing system used in China today is very much like the one developed in the Yellow River Valley over 3,000 years ago. Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt developed writing systems long ago as well, but their cuneiform and hieroglyphics have not been used for a very long time. So it is quite remarkable to think that the Chinese are still writing with many of the same characters that their ancestors used many years ago. How do we know that the ancient writing system has survived all these years? Well, it has to do with a recent discovery of a most unusual writing surface. What do you use to write on today? Yes, paper. But Chinese farmers digging in their fields unearthed writing on a surface quite different from paper. The unusual writing surface is bone. Long before paper was invented, the Chinese wrote questions for mystical spirits on ox bones and on the hard protective underbellies of large river tortoise. The kings of ancient China used these bones during special ceremonies in which they sought answers to their most important questions. Bones were not the only things that the Chinese used for writing surfaces. For thousands of years before the invention of paper, the Chinese wrote on clay pottery, metal vases, silken cloth, wood, and bamboo strips. Bamboo, a woody plant that grows like a weed, was split and scraped to make the smooth writing surfaces used in China for many years. The Chinese invented many things, including something to make writing easier. They invented paper. The first paper was made from rope-like plant called hemp. The hemp was soaked, beaten to a pulp, and then dried into long, flat sheets. The first paper was very thick and rough and was not used originally for writing at all. Instead, it was used for things as varied as clothing, soldiers' armor, and as a protective wrapping for fine objects. The Chinese continued to experiment with other materials, tree bark, fishing net, wheat stalks, cloth rags, to name a few, trying to create a softer, smoother, lighter writing surface. The person given credit for finding the right combination of materials was a man by the name of Kai Lun. It was he who made the most successful product, creating a type of paper that pleased his emperor or ruler immensely. Finally, the Chinese had paper that was much thinner than rough hemp fibers, and yet much less expensive than the fine silk cloth. Kai Lun's invention changed the world. The softer, more durable paper meant that books were easier to make, and for many years the Chinese did indeed have more books than any other country in the world. However, the Chinese style of bookmaking took a long time. Think about how easy it is for you to get copies of books today. You simply go to the library or bookstore and pick out the books you want. Before those books get to the library or store, they are easily printed and bound by machines. Well, in ancient China, each book had to be made individually. If you wanted a copy of a book, you had to copy it by hand yourself, copying each individual letter, character, or symbol from the very first page to the very last. Chinese inventors came up with a solution to printing more books. Block printing was invented. The text, written on a thin piece of paper, was glued face down to a wooden block. Then each character was carved out to make a wood block printing plate. A separate block was created for each page of the book. If you made a mistake, you had to start all over again. The method wasn't perfect for sure, but the Chinese never gave up. Over the years, they developed better methods that spread throughout the world. Today, many people view the Chinese writing system as more than a means of communication. The beautifully formed, graceful characters are appreciated as an important form of art. This art form has a name: calligraphy. Calligraphers, the artists who produce calligraphy, often use soft brushes made of animal hair and dipped in a special ink in order to draw characters for others to enjoy. Like many art forms, it takes a great deal of patience to master calligraphy. Do you think you have the patience to try it? Oh, crap. Today, many people view the Chinese writing system as more than a means of communication. The beautifully formed, graceful characters are appreciated as an important form of art. This art form has a name: calligraphy. Calligraphers, the artists who produce calligraphy, often use soft brushes made of animal hair and dipped in a special ink in order to draw characters for others to enjoy. Like many art forms, it takes a great deal of patience to master calligraphy. Do you think you have the patience to try it?